Hi, this is Keith with How to Build Your Own Home. I'm here at the job site. We've got our sign put in, and I wanted to go over a couple of things that I do, pre-planning, thoughts that I have. Every time I go through a project, I try to take all that I've learned that's good and all that I learned that's one that wasn't so good, and I try to carry that forward into the new build so that I'm always trying to be better at what I do. And so this here's a job site. We've already dug the pits on this for the geotech. And this job site also requires a septic. So there's some bare spots where we did some perk tests on this property already. So that's already done. And I like to get that done. My geotech actually called me this morning and he says, Keith, do you have the plans for this house? I go, I don't. They're being designed right now. And I told him as soon as I have a plot plan, I'll shoot it off to him because he can't do his septic design until he has a plot plan, which is how the house and the driveway and everything's laid out on the entire property. So he's waiting for that. But I wanted to come up and just talk about the one thing that I keep thinking about when it comes to construction is the envelope of the home and the possibility for new technologies. And I'm always trying to think about that. And I see a lot of new technologies surface all the time. And some of them I scratch my head out. And some of them I wonder about and I think about. One thing that I keep thinking about on the construction of a home is basically the envelope of the home. That is where the real headache is. And I've brought this up a couple of times in some other videos. But that envelope of the home, the actual exterior of the wall, that's the big challenge. What can you do to eliminate or cut down on costs, or what can you do to get better quality and then cut down on costs? That's the envelope of the home. Let me explain what I'm talking about. This here is your framing. This here is your interior insulation. This here is your exterior sheeting. This here is your exterior, could be a stucco product, a brick product, could be a rock product. But let's just call that your vapor barrier. And then your exterior rock, brick, stucco, whatever it may be. And then you've got your interior drywall and your interior tape and texture crew. And I have a whole different sticker for this because it's often a complete separate crew. And then you've got your paint, primer, etc. on the inside. Right now I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different groups, crews, etc. That many right there to stand in one place and do something for a wall right here. And of course, we're not talking about plumbing and mechanical and all that, but that's just, we'll keep that separate right now. That's what I'm always thinking about. I'm always thinking about how many different crews it will take to stand in one place to do one thing. And I'm very fascinated with the idea of creating technologies that can eliminate that crew and that crew and that crew, all right, but still have the wall you need. And if I can eliminate crews and have one crew be able to do more things right there, then all power to me. If I can't eliminate crews, then I say to myself, can I eliminate some of the material by using a different material, and therefore I can eliminate a crew for that. A good example is like stucco. Stucco typically takes a vapor barrier or a membrane water barrier on the sheeting, and then you go ahead and you tack your foam and your lath, which is your wire mesh. In some areas they don't do foam, some areas they do. In my area we do use typically a 1-inch foam, and then we put our wire mesh on top of that. That's called a lath crew, okay? Then you come on after that, it's another crew, which is your gray coat, and they smear that on and get it all squared away, and they let that cure. And then there's a third crew that comes on, and they do the finish coat. So if I can eliminate literally one whole crew, one of those crews, then I've saved some money. I've become more efficient with the time. That's why I built a home in Omniblock down in St. George, because I eliminated the lath. It was just a gray coat, and they added a little bit of glue to the gray coat, mixed up, and it bonded right nicely to the CMU wall, to the block wall. That's what I'm always thinking about. What can I do to eliminate one of the crews or a material, and therefore have one crew do more in one area? That's what I'm thinking about. And I keep looking for technologies that might do that, that might solve for that problem. I'm constantly on the hunt. A couple weeks ago, I bid out a home. I was bidding out a post beam rough sawn timber home. And I was very interested in the idea that I could completely eliminate drywall and basically paint on the inside, and also insulation. My insulation crew would not have to come. I actually ran the numbers on a home like this, and I put insulation on the outside. It had an R30 wall with insulation with bonded OSB on the outside of that insulation, and it was just going to be nailed right to the exterior of this post beam structure. But before even that came on, it was 1.1 inches of TNG siding, so that exterior insulation and that exterior OSB would have fixed right to that. And I ran the numbers on that, and it didn't come out better for me. It was actually came out much higher, although it was more efficient. My framers could install the insulation, and I was able to eliminate the insulation crew entirely. I still wasn't saving money. I was becoming a little more efficient. That's why I go through quality, time, cost. Can I hit all three of those? Can I save money on higher quality? Can I save money on time? And can I save money on just the overall cost of things? And I hit all three of those. And if I can't really hit all three of them, then I'm not running on all cylinders, basically. So this is what I go through before I start a new job. So right now on this job, I'm weighing the advantages. There goes one of my crew. I'm weighing the advantages of a new floor system that actually has heating in the floor. This is called a Warm Boards product that I'm looking at. And this is your subfloor. And so the challenge with this gets installed with your framers, and then all of the heating actually comes right inside this pipe system, and your flooring comes right over the top of that. And they've got kind of looks like a metal or aluminum or something with higher conductivity, so when that hot water comes through here, it warms the whole floor evenly throughout the entire home. Now this is great for a frame structure. They do have a thinner warm board with not as much depth to it for installation on a slab on grade. So I don't know what this is going to be yet. This could be a slab on grade, it could be a stem wall. I'm weighing the options of that. But here's the advantage of this. If you live in an environment where at least 9 months of the year your main utility is heating the house, then you start thinking about technologies like this, because now that this is running through the floor, it's heating up that full floor, and it's a continuous, even heat distributed throughout the entire home. It's not only an increase in comfort, but it's an increase in quality, and it's also an increase in efficiency. If I have carpet on top of this and kind of a thick cushion underlayment for the carpet, and I'm blowing air, up on the ceiling trying to heat that room, and I'm a slab on grade, and this here is up against, a slab on grade, and I have an outside that's really, 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 really cold. That's going to wick inside the floor, and it's going to work its way into the home. But if I have this floorboard system inside the home, even though it's cold outside and I'm a slab on grade, I keep the heat down low, and that's what I'm trying to do, is to keep the heat down low in this home. If I'm in the southern part of the state where it's 115, close to that right now, I'm thinking differently about heating. I'm thinking differently about the exchange of air inside that room. And this here would not be very efficient in that part of where I would build. But I'm up north here. I'm at about probably over 3,000 feet elevation. It could be a little more than that. It could be close to 3,200 feet. And here it's cold 9 to 10 months of the year. So I'm changing my mind. I'm trying to find new technologies, how best to serve my clients and stuff like that. I wanted to share that with you, what I'm constantly going through in my mind, what I'm looking for. I know a lot of builders just put them together real quick, and there's no thought. Well, I kind of put a lot of pressure on myself to try to do something better, something different. And so that's what I'm doing on this home. I will share the plans with you on this home. We're going to build a large garage, and that's something I've been thinking about. A lot of people have been talking about barndominiums, and they were interested in a metal garage. But we're thinking seriously about doing something different on this job site. This is a residential build, so that when the garage is put in, which is a workshop basically, it doesn't look like a commercial building. It looks something very attractive. So we're playing with that, and I'll share with you what we're trying to go after with regard to this job site. Nice couple I'm working with, so with 2 kids moving out here from another state. Um, and I'm excited about it. Great people. But when the design process starts to come along, I'll let you know, and I'll give you some thoughts as to what we decide on this job and what new technologies we bring into it and how we affect the technologies with the design that we're actually going after. So this is Keith Couch talking about pre-planning, pre-construction here at a future job site in Iron County, Utah. You guys take care.